Okay, how's it going, everybody? So today we're going to read some Marx. This is a response to Engels. I read this letter a second ago to Marx about, it's called The Sociology of Christianity, I believe. Let me look. Or no, yeah, Sociology of the Bible is what it was called. And then this, I believe, is a response to that from Marx to Engels, written in June of 1853. Whereas the letter Lenin or Engels wrote was in May 24th of 1853. This is June 2nd of 1853. So about a week later, I think it's a response to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. It's called Oriental Cities by Karl Marx to Friedrich Engels. With regard to the Hebrews and Arabians, your letter interested me very much. By the way, 1. A general relationship could be proved, since history began among all Oriental tribes, between the settlement of one part of the tribes and the continued nomadic life of the others. 2. In Muhammad's time, the trade route from Europe to Asia had been considerably modified, and the cities of Arabia, which had taken a great part in the trade with India, etc., were in a state of commercial decay. This is in any case also lent impetus. 3. As to religion, the question resolves itself into the general and therefore easily answered one. Why does the history of the East appear as a history of religions? On the formation of Oriental cities, one can read nothing more brilliant, graphic, and striking than old Francois Bernier, 9 years physician to Aurungzebe. Zebi, I think it's Zeb or Zebi. Travels containing a description of the dominions of the great Mogul, etc. He also describes the military system, the way these great armies were fed, etc., very well. On these 2 points he remarks among other things, quote, the cavalry forms the principal section. The infantry is not so big as in generally rumored, unless all the servants and people from the bazaars or markets who follow the army are mixed in with the real fighting force. For in that case I could well believe that they would be right in putting the number of men in the army accompanying the king alone at 200,000 or 300,000, and sometimes even more, when, for example, it is certain that he will be a long time absent from the capital, and this will not appear so very astonishing to one who knows the strange encumbrance of tents, kitchens, clothes, furniture, and quite frequently even of women, and consequently also the elephants, camels, oxen, horses, porters, foragers, provisioners, merchants of all kinds, and servitors whom these armies carry in their weight, or to one who understands the particular condition and government of the country, namely that the king is the one and only proprietor of all the land in the kingdom, from which it follows as a necessary consequence that a whole capital city like Delhi or Agra lives almost entirely on the army, and is therefore obliged to follow the king if he takes the field for any length of time. For these towns neither are nor can be anything like a Paris, being virtually nothing but military camps, only a little better and more conveniently situated than in the open country. End quote. On the occasion of the march of the Great Mogul in the Kashmir, with an army of 400,000 men, etc., he says, quote, the difficulty is to know whence and how such a great army, such a great number of men and animals, can subsist in the field. For this it is only necessary to suppose what is perfectly true, that the Indians are very sober and very simple in their food, and that of all that great number of horsemen, not the 10th nor even the 20th part eats meat during the march, so long as they have their kisheri, or mixture of rice and other vegetables, over when it is cooked, they pour melted butter. They are satisfied. Further, it is necessary to know that camels are possessed of extreme endurance at work, and can long resist hunger and thirst, live on little, and eat anything, and that as soon as the army has arrived, the camel drivers lead them to graze in the open country, where they eat whatever they can find. Moreover, the same merchants who keep the bazaars in Delhi are forced to maintain them during campaigns too, and so do the small merchants, etc. And finally, with regard to forage, all these poor folks go roaming all over the countryside to buy such and thus earn something. Their great and common resort is to rasp whole fields with a sort of small trowel, thrash or cleanse the small herb rasp, or the herb rasp, and bring it along to sell to the army. End quote. Bernier rightly considered the basis of all phenomena in the East. He refers to Turkey, Persia, Hindustan, to be the absence of private property and land. This is the real key, even to the Oriental heaven. Okay. So yeah, that's the Oriental Cities by Karl Marx to Frederick Engels, written in London, June 2nd, 1853. Thank y'all for tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Medium, all of these Marxists saw. Also YouTube, where you're probably hearing this. Facebook, or subscribe, not Facebook, my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it and hit the notification bell. And thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. And todara goi.